Hello, everyone. It's Mark from Worth It Repairs, and today I have an iPhone 15 Pro that looks like it needs a screen and a back glass. And let's check the battery because they were talking about that it was draining really fast. Battery health is normal, 89% and 488 charge cycles. I noticed it was a bit dirty. I'm not quite sure what was on the outside. It really looked like blood, so I decided I would get some rubber gloves this time and do a repair with some rubber gloves on because I was really firstly grossed out. And this was my friend's phone, and he wouldn't tell me what happened to it. He said it was just dropped. What do you guys think? Gross. Look at those edges. All right, well, we'll power it off and then grab our P2 screwdriver to unscrew the two screws on the bottom. Let's find out to see how new I can make it look at the end of the repair. All right, so we'll grab out our P2 screwdriver and unscrew the two screws from the bottom. And we're going to heat up the screen so then we can disconnect the battery. And also then we'll take out the screen and then take out the back glass. If you're wondering where I get my tools, I'll leave a link of my tools in the description below and also where I get the parts. While we heat up the screen, I want to introduce you to this video's sponsor. Here we have Cell Helmet's bar audio, the mini mag, and it connects onto your MagSafe, and it's a speaker, and it is quite amazing. You can set it up in many ways. Back to the repair. So we'll pry with our metal pry tool right on the bottom, and it will be easy to break the adhesive free because we heated it up for 10 minutes on the screen side before starting to pry it off. The screen is so broken that we can't use the suction cup, so we're just going to pry it off like a crazy gorilla. Gross. You can see the edges. Oh, it's so bloody and gross. I'm not quite sure if it's blood. I'm pretty positive it is. It looks like it to me. Well, we'll open it up from the right to the left, and then we'll grab out our Y000 screwdriver and remove all these screws right here in yellow. While we unscrew the screws, I wanted to tell you to please like and subscribe and stay tuned for the rest of the video. Once the screws are removed, and then you can remove the bracket. Grab your plastic spudger and disconnect the battery, the screen, and the proximity sensor. Get the screen removed, and now we got the screen on. So we'll get the PH000 screws holding down the proximity sensor and get ready to heat it up on our heating pad while we remove it. I learned this trick from someone on my YouTube channel. They commented and told me to try laying it on a heating pad, and I certainly did, and it was worth it. But I also add a little bit of alcohol around the edges of the proximity sensor and use a flat end of a plastic spudger to get it removed. Perfect, that's how you remove it. I'll show you the screen. It's from mobilecentrics.com, iPhone 15 Pro X07 soft version with 120 hertz, and it comes with an OLED break warranty, which is really awesome. Anyways, we'll get it unpackaged and we'll grab out the pre-cut adhesive and the screen. And I don't have a screen programmer. It comes with this little chip thing, and I don't do the IC chip removing or install it because you could risk breaking the new part. So I'm not going to install that. And if you're wondering how to do that, you'll have to find a different video. But we're just going to skip that part, and it will still work. It just will show a screen message in the settings after the repair. And I disclosed with my friend, and he was going to be okay with that. Now, since iOS 18, I don't believe you need the screen programmer anymore. But if the phone isn't all the way updated, then you'll lose True Tone. And it doesn't really matter because once you update the phone, you'll get True Tone restored, even if it's an aftermarket screen, which is pretty cool. And I'm happy about that and the changes that Apple has been making to make things repairable. One thing they could do is lower the prices because, gosh, if you want an Apple genuine part, it is so expensive. Now, to get the battery out, I have this big plastic pry tool and some alcohol. And we'll get the battery out by just prying it out because pulling the pull tabs is useless. They always just break and then they fall off and you'll just pry it out anyways. I have had times where it's successful, where you remove the loudspeaker and the Taptic engine and then you pull them out, but still, like, it's a lot more work, and I don't know why you need to be careful with a battery that you're not even putting back in the phone. That's the only time that I actually do the pull tabs is when I'm going to put the phone back together with the original battery. But I'm not going to. And when you use alcohol and this big pry tool, you don't even really bend up the battery at all. It actually stays together really, really good, and it comes out nice and easy, just like so. Wow, it is so amazing how easy that came out. My disclosure to you, if you're going to remove the battery, just do not use a metal pry tool, because if you pierce the battery with a metal pry tool, it'll start a fire. So you have to use a plastic pry tool when prying out the battery, always. After getting the battery removed, the adhesive is still left on the phone, and we'll want to grab some fine pointed tweezers and just twist it up just like this, so then you can just pull it all off in one big piece. Next, you're going to like and subscribe, or I'm going to put this back glass back on your phone. Just kidding. We're going to get the back glass removed, and since the battery's out, now it's safer to take the back off, and we're going to heat up the back for 10 minutes on the heater. Now we can remove the back. We'll use the metal pry tool because we don't have to worry about piercing the battery. And also be careful because there's other connections that come through the back and you don't want to break them off, just like the one on the back glass. We'll get all the glass removed, get this thing cleaned up. It looks nasty. I don't know if that's blood. What do you guys think? Is it blood? I don't know. I'm just freaked out and don't know what happened to the phone and why it's so bloody. So hopefully it's not that bad. Maybe it's just a paper cut. I know what they did. They got mad at me for losing against me in Clash Clans, and they gripped the phone so furiously hard, they broke the screen, the back glass, and got blood all over the phone. I don't know if that's actually true, but we'll find out in the comments below. Thank you everyone that has subscribed to my channel this far, and I hope that I don't get this phone every day. You know, I really don't know what happened to it. But we'll get all the edges cleaned up real nice and use our chisel blade and clean off the broken glass and the adhesive. And then we're going to also use a bristly brush to clean off the residue on the outside of the frame that is grossing me out every minute. And I just can't stop talking about it. But we're going to get it cleaned up all nice and use some alcohol and make this thing look brand new. We'll use our chisel blade, some alcohol, and a brush to clean the edges off of the residue and try to make it as clean as possible. And then afterwards, we'll clean off our desk and we'll start reassembling the phone. All right, guys, I'm going to speed this up 1,000 times faster, but we're going to get the edges cleaned up and I'm going to show you guys what I'm capable of. This will be worth it. At the end of the repair, we'll see what happens and see how it looks. Here's the edges. I feel comfortable now that I can take off my gloves and reassemble the phone and make it look all new because I got all that residue removed. Perfect. Now we can install the battery. We'll get it out of its packaging and lay the battery down. We'll remove the adhesive tabs on the back first and then lay it down and connect the battery onto the logic board itself first, and then lay the battery completely down flush to the phone. So then it adheres. Now we'll lay down the adhesive of the screen. We'll grab that and lay it down nice and flat to the phone, and we will connect the screen on and then test the phone when we get the back glass on. But first you'll install the back glass, then you'll install the screen because you want to be able to disconnect the battery and stuff when you're doing your testing. And if anything went wrong in your testing, like it did for me, and I had to reorder a different back glass. Here's the back glass. I replaced it. You didn't see me ordering it and all that. That's just not in the video. But we're going to set it up and then do this finish setup in repair. You go to General, About, and then you'll be able to finish and repair the phone. You'll have to have Wi-Fi to do this, and it will pair any of the Apple OEM parts and allow you to see the battery health after you replaced it, even if it was an aftermarket battery, which is really cool. Now, after we do the finish and repair, we can test the phone. Make sure the flashlight works. Make sure the screen is working. And make sure the proximity sensor is working. Make sure the battery is working and that you can see the battery health, even though it'll still say the unknown battery error. But that's okay, because the part comes with a warranty, and it's really great. The part warranties that you get with mobilecentrics.com. And I'll leave links in the description below so then you guys can get the parts yourself. One last thing I forgot to tell you should test, make sure the rear microphone is working. To do that, you'll have to record a video using the rear camera and then just say the word test or worth it. Worth It Repairs by Mark. And this repair was definitely worth it. We got the phone working at the end and we put the back glass on first after pulling the adhesive tabs. And then we lay down the bracket for the screen and battery connection, and screw down all the screws and pull the adhesive tabs as well and lay it all down nice and new. And I can't wait to show you guys what the edges look like at the end of the repair. If this repair seems too complicated for you and you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself like I do myself, you can always mail in your repair. Email me, mark@worthitRepairs.com, and I can help you out while you're trying to repair something, or if you want to send it to me to fix it for you. And hopefully you don't send me a phone grosser than this, but I don't think it gets much grosser than this. Well, we got to put the P2 screws back in and hold it down, and then we'll clamp it afterwards, but I'll show you the edges. We'll take a look at the phone. It looks brand new. Doesn't look as bad as it did when it first came in at the beginning of the repair. And you can't even tell that this phone might have been all bloody or had some sort of gross residue around the edges of the phone. I would call it Cheeto phone when you have like gross, grimy phones with edges like that. And I bet this guy that did the repair with me, he will just say, well, it doesn't matter if you clean the edges because we just put it in a case anyways. Please check out my other videos and thank you again.
It's your turn.